Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lexi and today I'm going over my Q4 empties as well as tallying up all the products I finished in 2025. So I'm really excited to show you the numbers, kind of my thoughts of why some categories were less than others, and as always everything will be in chapters by category below. First I'm going to start with skincare / body care. So I want to first talk about like moisturizers, body lotions, things like that. And I finished 4 in Q4. Next up I have the Beauty of Joseon Red Bean Moisturizer. This is a gel formula and I actually really liked this. I have dry skin so I tend to not go for gel formulas except in the summertime, but this one was actually quite hydrating and I really did enjoy it. Though I'm like having a dry spell in my skin right now where I need really thick moisturizers. So I wouldn't purchase this again right now, but maybe in the summertime I do like a nice water gel. Next up, this one's more like skincare focused rather than being a face cream. At least that's how I use it. It's the Ordinary Azelaic Acid, and this one is like a very thick lotion kind of type of formula. But I can only use it at nights because if I try to put anything else on top of it, it would start pilling. I feel like I didn't really see any benefits from this one, but I skin cycles, so I wasn't using this fairly consistently to even see results. It did last for a long time and I think it was fairly cheap, but I didn't really see anything from it, so I wouldn't repurchase it again. Next is the Trader Joe's Brazil Nut Body Butter, and this is a little mini that I have. I absolutely love this body butter, so I would definitely purchase this one again, and I have before. I think the scent is kind of like a dupe for the Sol de Janeiro one, the orange packaging, but the formula isn't even close. This one is more of a true body butter. It's very thick, whereas the other one is more of a lotion. But I still really love this, especially for these harsh winter months. I feel like I can really go through this quickly and it's very affordable. Next up is the Trader Joe's Brazil Nut Body Oil. This is the same scent as that body butter. I've been getting more into using body oils, but this one was more of a dry oil, it felt like, where it dried to the skin really quickly, and I just felt like I had to use a lot to cover some surface area. I tried to like warm it up in my hands, but that trick didn't really work with this one, so I wouldn't repurchase this one, though I'm pretty sure I got these in a set, so I think it's worth it because you get the hairspray as well. Like, it's not horrible, I just wouldn't go out of my way to purchase this one again. Next up in the skincare category, I have some bath products. So one is the Dr. Teal's Foaming Bath, and this was the sleep one. I really enjoyed this one and I like that you get a lot of it. I don't recall how much I spent for it, but I got a 2-pack of them, and I actually saw this at TJ Maxx recently, so that might be where I go to try and get a better deal on this, but I really like it. I just like that it doesn't tell you how much to add, it just says to add a generous amount, so that's kind of like hard for me to know how much to actually add each time, but I really like this one. I finished this little body wash. It's the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Play body wash, and I really liked this one. I like that it's like liquidy but somehow creamy still, and it just smells really nice and leaves your skin hydrated. I don't know if I could like pay the price of these products, but I do enjoy getting them as gifts. I do think that I finished another bath product, like another body wash, a full-size one, though I don't really recall what brand it was, and it wasn't until I finished this one that I was like, oh, I should probably track those too. And then this quarter I also finished one hand soap. I keep one in my kitchen and one in my bathroom, so I go through them every few months, I feel like, but I am trying to find like a scent where I can just refill these up because I really do like the foam type, and I feel like this is really heavy duty plastic, so I would prefer to refill it. But I like the scent. It wasn't very fall for me, it just smelled kind of like fruity, but it was nice. Now I just have a few random products, and there are some I won't show. I kept them all in a bag and something must have leaked out a little bit because everything is all sticky, so I just tried to clean up what I could, but there are some that are just too gross right now. So I finished one makeup remover. This is the Garnier Erase It All Makeup Cleansing Balm, and this replaced my holy grail. I used to buy the e.l.f. makeup removing balm, and that one was really nice. I couldn't find anything similar to it until I tried this one. I think it was Abby Young's recommendation that I took, and I mean, this stuff is really, really great. I like that it's balmier than the e.l.f. one, and I feel like you get a little bit more product. And with this one, I noticed like skincare effects immediately where my skin just looked brighter and felt more hydrated as well. So this has become my go-to now, and I think I finished one of these earlier in the year as well. Early on in this quarter, I finished this tanning spray, which was on my 2025 list to finish. This is the Isle of Paradise self-tanning water, and there was such a pathetic amount in here, but I did finally finish it. I don't think I would repurchase this one. I think I prefer more lotion types, but at the same time, I like thinner formulas because I feel like they blend easier compared to lotion ones. So I'm not really sure, but considering how long it took me just to try and finish it, I feel like that's an indicator that I shouldn't repurchase it. Next, I have one exfoliator. This is the Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. I also really like this one, though I've been playing around with other exfoliators lately, and I think I would still repurchase this one, but I want to finish the ones I have first before doing so. Right now I have the Ordinary glycolic acid one, and that one I feel like it leaves me a little bit drier, but it still does the same thing. And then I've also been using the Medicube Exosome shot, and that one I try to use less frequently just because it's like super prickly. I'm not sure if that or my retinol is giving me like severe flaky skin right now, and I'm just trying to like feel it out still. But I really do like this one. I feel like it lasted a long time too, so it's kind of expensive. I think it's like $30, but I do feel like you get a lot, and it's a good product. Next up, I finished one eye cream, and this is the Gloasis Probiotics Triple Peptide Refreshing Eye Cream. And I actually ended up finishing this as just using it as like a hand cream and like on my neck, but it is all gone. It definitely was not my favorite of an eye cream. I haven't really found one that I love, and it's only been the past couple of years where I've started incorporating an eye cream. But this one was like incredibly thin, but then you couldn't wear it like under concealer because it would like give you wrinkles. It was really odd. If you used too much, it like had negative effects. So I can't recommend this one. I'm trying, I think, the Estee Lauder one now that I have that's in my 2026 project, and it's been fine. I haven't noticed any problems with it, but I can't recommend this one. I finished one sunscreen, and it was the Beauty of Joseon one, and I really enjoyed that one, though it seems like it's not available in the US anymore. But that one I think took me over a year, which is great. I like a nice cream formula, and I felt that it was nice and hydrating. And I also finished one mini face wash, or I guess it was a sampler, but it was the Tatcha light blue one. Not really a fan of it. I liked it, but then I didn't. I felt like the fragrance was a little too much for me, but the consistency of the gel was really nice. But then it left me kind of feeling like stripped and a little too dry. Overall, I just think it's not made for me because I really love the dewy skin formula. So I think that's just really like a preference on type of face washes you like and your skin type. And some of the products that I'm not bringing over because they're a little messy, I finished 2 face masks, a hand mask, a foot mask, and these face wipes. And I also have a sleeve of these cotton rounds that I finished. I will say the hand mask that I recently tried, it was interesting. It did leave my hands really moisturized, but I literally was wearing like these gloves. I felt like a serial killer wearing them. It was kind of freaky, and it just seems a little wasteful when I feel like a deep treatment or a nice moisturizer can kind of do that trick. But it was interesting, and they were a single-use one, so I did finish those. The next category is makeup, and I definitely didn't finish as many as I thought I would, but I still finished a fair few. So the one I'm most impressed with is this lip liner from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Pillow Talk, and this is their lip cheat, and I finished it. It's so low that I can't sharpen it, and it broke off while I was using it, so I really can't get in there. But I'm not going to repurchase this one. I just found the formula like too iffy and just not compatible with how I want it to feel. Like the application sometimes was really rough, and other times I just felt like it broke off or like dried really quickly. And there's just so many other ones that I prefer more. So I'm happy that I was able to finish it, but I'm definitely not going to repurchase this. Another product I don't see myself repurchasing is this blush from Rare Beauty, and this is the shade Happy. This is their liquid blush, and I just find these so pigmented, but then really patchy. and I've tried different application methods and it's always patchy on me, whereas with my e.l.f. camo ones, no patchiness at all and kind of the same pigment level, if anything, a little bit more wearable. So I know there's still product in here, but I'm not going to be digging it out. When it comes to a product I don't like, I am not going to go through the extra effort to project pan it. Like if I take the applicator out and no more products coming out, I'm counting that as done for this because I don't like it, and I've been forcing myself to wear it to finish it, to kind of like make a point and learn a lesson myself. But I've learned that lesson, so this one I'm counting as done. Another blush that I did finish was my e.l.f. Camo blush in Dusty Rose. I don't have that because that one I actually really do love, so I've taken the stopper out and I'm just scooping out the last remaining product, but technically I am counting it done. Two more makeup products that I really loved. One is this mascara from Ilia. It is their Limitless mascara. And there's something about this where it's so different from other mascaras. I felt like it always felt wet on the lashes, but if I like touched my lashes with my fingers, nothing would smudge off. And I really loved the like elongated and just like fluttery look it gave. Definitely didn't give you volume, but I really like this for more of like a natural look, and this is definitely something I would like to buy again. Another product I was sad to see go was my lip smacker, and this one is in Gingerbread, and I had got this for Christmas I think last year, and I like really scooped out as much as I could. It was in like a cone shape in here, and I really loved this. It was a nice formula, left my lips feeling really nice, and had a nice scent to it. I haven't been able to find this anywhere, and I have tried some of like the little lip smackers in the like pot, I guess, and they suck. They are horrible. So I'm really hoping to find another type like this because this was a really great product. The next category I have is hair products, and I'm very happy that I was able to move some of these products out and am able to start using some of the products I enjoy more. And the first product that has been giving me so much grief is this AG Care Recoil Curl Activator. This is a curl cream, and I just could not vibe with this formula. I felt like it didn't really make my curls last, and it just was difficult. I felt like this bottle was always caking up on the top, like where the dispenser is, and it just turns hard, which is really gross. So yeah, it was not a pleasant experience. Another product I wasn't a huge fan of and unfortunately had to throw out is my Olaplex No. 4 Bond Maintenance Shampoo. And I was reading the back one day and it says to store it upside down like this, and then I did that, and then mold started growing in the lid. Thankfully I was almost done with this product. I would say it's like around here, so not like happy that I had to throw it out because of that, but I also feel like the shampoo was giving me dandruff. I noticed that I couldn't use it every single time that I washed my hair, which feels weird if it's a shampoo, like unless it's like a overly stripping or cleansing one. This isn't it. Like this is a very creamy shampoo and it's like supposed to feel nice. And yeah, I noticed if I use this too frequently, my head would just be constantly itchy. So I'm happy that I'm done with it, but not happy on how I got there. Next, I finished this Kerastase. I don't even know what it is. It's the Blonde Absolute line, and it is a rinse out conditioner. So this one I think I did enjoy. It was kind of hard to tell. I use multiple different types of blonding products, or just like bulk products for my hair because I do have some highlights throughout, and I feel like this one made my hair look brighter, but not necessarily toned the hair. So like it didn't knock out the brassiness, but it just made it look brighter. And I would get compliments after using this, but I wasn't sure if it was this product specifically. And I don't know if it's worth the price tag when I would prefer a blonde or like a purple shampoo to knock out that brassiness, if that makes sense. So I don't think I would repurchase this, and I'm not really sure on how my thoughts were for this. Next is the Verb Volume Dry Texture Spray. This one is a huge no from me. I had thought of getting a texture spray to give my hair more volume. That's something I definitely struggle with having really heavy and long hair. And so I got a texture spray because that's what it seemed like was the key to solving this. And I absolutely hate this. Not only does it not do what it proposes in adding that volume and like being gritty, but it makes your head super itchy. and it falls flat so quickly. I would say it lasts for like maybe an hour or two, and then my hair is back to how it looks, but then it just looks and feels really, really gross because it's that texture spray, so it makes your hair feel gritty, kind of sticky almost, and yeah, this is not it. So I don't know if in the future I would like to try a texture spray. I have another one from Bumble and Bumble, and kind of the same thing, though that one does say to add it when your hair is wet, and I try to use it more so for blowouts, but it still kind of gives that same feeling, which I don't like. Next, I have the Eva NYC H2O Hydrating Leave-In Conditioner, and I wasn't a fan of this one either. I've had a hard time finding hair products that really suit what I want it to be, and leave-in conditioners is one of those categories where I just haven't found one that works yet. I really like the scent of this one, and I felt like the texture and consistency was good for a leave-in conditioner. I want something light, not too heavy, and just is going to add a little bit more moisture and hydration to my hair. And I didn't really notice it with this product. There were times where I would just do half my head because I was so convinced it wasn't doing anything, and I could not tell a difference. So yeah, I wish that I liked this product. I do like a lot of Eva NYC's products, but this one just wasn't it. If you are looking for something to do the job, I would recommend their primer. I really like that product, though the fragrance is quite strong with that. And then finally for hair, I have two hair oils. One is a little sampler, and then I have, I think, a mini. So the sampler is the Brigio Style and Treat, and it's this tiny little dropper. And I think I didn't like this one that much. It gave a nice shine, but then it would just feel kind of heavy, even though it was very lightweight. I don't really recall 100% how I felt about it, but I usually like add something to my wish list so that I know that I enjoyed it if it's a sampler like this, and I didn't for this one. So take that as you will. And then the other one that I also don't think I would repurchase is the K18 hair oil. And this one took me forever to go through. And then the last time I actually tried to reach for it, there was nothing in there. Like, I took the stopper off and I tried to pour it in my hand and nothing came out. Primarily, I just used this when I was going to blow out my hair so that I could add a little bit of moisture to my ends. But I'm finding that I'm just not the type of person to add oil to my hair when it's wet. I like to add oil as a pre-shower oil to really hydrate my hair because my hair gets really dry, and then after styling, and then throughout the week to kind of like refresh my hair and add some shine back. But I've tried the whole doing it when your hair is wet and you're styling, and I just feel like my hair is dirty right away, and I do feel like it migrates to my scalp, and it's not a good feeling. So I really just used this when my hair was straightened or blown out. I've tried it on my curly hair, and I feel like it didn't really do anything, and I also had to use a lot. So not on my list. I really like the K18 mask, but I don't think this one's worth it. Next up, I have fragrance. I have two samplers and a full size. And the samplers, I have Prada Paradox as well as Replica Autumn Vibes. Autumn Vibes is a straight no from me. It smelled burnt. Not like how Replica by the Fireplace smells, but like just not my vibe. It was not good. And then Prada Paradox, I actually really enjoyed this one. Sorry, this is Virtual Flower. I don't know, I'm horrible at explaining fragrances, but I did enjoy this one. And then, sorry, I misspoke. This is not a full size, but it is a mini and like a big bottle. This is Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato, and I am very happy to have finished this. I don't know if I've ever finished like this size of perfume before, so it was such an achievement when I did it, and I actually forgot about it, that it was in this bag for so long. Looking back, I ended up actually not liking this anymore. When I first got it, I knew that this was the scent for me, and I absolutely adored it. I would wear it any chance I got, and towards the end, I think I was like below the lettering, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna push myself to finish this, and I kind of got tired of it. It was not what I expected. I thought I would repurchase this perfume, but I don't think I would anymore. It's a really nice scent, so I do recommend that you try it, but it's just interesting how that works, where I absolutely love this, and now I remember the past few times I was just like, oh my god, like, am I done using this yet? So I don't know what happened, how my taste changed, but I'm curious if, I mean, it smells really good now. I wonder if it was just like when I was trying to finish it, I was wearing it every day, and maybe that was just like too much for me, or it smells really nice now. Okay, I kind of take it back. I really like that scent again. So I don't know, maybe just that little push that I was trying to do was too much, but I think I would recommend this now. Yeah, I would. It's really good. And then for this update, I don't have any nail products that I finished. Kind of a bummer, but I didn't finish any. And it may seem like I had used way more, and that's because I did. I did not include any like samples or like single-use products really. It's kind of hard to like put those in my bag because sometimes there's like some products still in there, so like leaks out and gets everything sticky, which happened to me with the one product I included. So I definitely finished through those throughout. I also thought that I had finished more fragrances, but I guess not. But now I want to go over the total numbers for the year. I love doing these videos quarterly, but at the end you have to get a big picture to see how much you truly finished. And I find it very motivating for the next year, so I'm excited to dive into this. For next year, I'm definitely thinking of being more precise with my categories for things. For example, like skincare, I kind of just throw it all together, but then in my list, I break it down by like face wash, like body and face moisturizers. So I really want to break it down just so when it comes to tallying it up, it's a bit more reflective and easier on my end. As well as like the skincare, I think I would like to further have like a skincare active section and then like toners, things like that. But I didn't do that this year, so some will be like pretty descriptive while others are more general. So bear with me with this. But the first one for face wash and makeup removers, I lumped those together because they effectively do the same thing. So I finished 4.5. I'm proud of that number. I think last year I had 3 or 4. I don't recall. Definitely check out this video where I go through the same thing for 2024. But that makes sense to me. Like I usually finish a face wash every 3 to 4 months. Sorry, makeup remover. And then face wash, I had a lot of minis that I was trying to get through. So I think that for those, I count 0.5 instead of 1, just to be a bit more fair with how much I'm actually finishing. But it's still tallied up to 4.5. This next one, I included body and hand lotions as well as face moisturizers. And the grand total for that is 11.5 products. That is awesome. I know those are definitely categories I just roll through because I'm a very dry skin person. Like my face is definitely the worst, but all of me is so dry. So I definitely go through those a lot, especially hand lotions. I adore those, and face moisturizers too. I love trying new ones, but I also go through them pretty quickly. So very satisfied with that number. Next up is sunscreens, and I finished 2.5 this year. While some of those were those 0.5s, I'm still pretty happy with that. I think last year I only finished 1 sunscreen, and I definitely need to ramp this up more because these are just face sunscreens. I do use body sunscreens, but probably not as often as I should, though I'm not much of an outside person in the summer. So I would like to push up those numbers, especially because I love trying sunscreens and you want to keep yourself safe. This is what I'm talking about. This next category, I just have all other skincare. So that includes like toners, actives, all kinds of stuff. And I have 22 items. Wow, I am very impressed. This always happens though. I go through skincare like crazy and I am definitely like a skincare addict, but I'm always just amazed by how many total there are because you would think if you have more, it would be longer to go through those products. For example, like makeup products, but skincare, I go through it so quickly. Next up for hair care, I just lumped these all together and I finished a total of 13. I think last year it was around the 20 mark for hair care, which is pretty impressive. But I was also trying to really finish products I didn't like last year. And this year I tried to do the same as well, but also just using things that I really do enjoy. I'm hoping to really refine the hair products that I do enjoy because I hate wasting money on hair products that are just not good or not how you want your hair to look. And I always fall for that. So I think I need to look more into reviews like I do for makeup and nail polish. I think I need to carry that over to hair products too. For nail products, I am lumping nail polish as well as other products together because I did a really bad job at finishing nail products or nail polish this year. I think last year I was about 10, which is amazing. And this year I finished 2. One was a base coat and one was a top coat. So not very impressive. I did recently do a nail polish declutter, which has me feeling a lot better about where I'm at, as well as feeling more confident that I can finish more products. Still something I need to be conscientious of, and I have some plans for how I can finish more and more often. For fragrance samples, I finished a grand total of 14. I'm a little stumped on how the number is so low because last year I thought I finished around 30 or 40. So I guess I was just focusing on that Kayali one. I know I was focusing on for a good 2 months, though I would also just have it in rotation because I really liked it. If you've seen my samples project that I've started, my goal is to finish all of these little fragrance samplers I have, and it's definitely possible. So that is my goal, and those don't take up as much space. They're just kind of annoying to have around. And for a larger size, you know that I finished 1, which was the Kayali perfume. Now we're getting into the makeup products, and I didn't finish a whole lot this year. It definitely seemed like I did, but then looking at the numbers broken down, I'm just like, what happened? Compared to last year, I thought I did a really great job at finishing makeup products, and I'm still happy with what I've accomplished this year too, but I do have some hard rules for 2026, and I'm excited to see how much I can finish and hopefully ramp up those numbers because these are kind of pathetic right now. For eyebrow products, I'm pretty basic with that, so I only have 3 products that I finished this year. I think that's around what I finished last year. Again, very basic about it, so when I find something I like, I just stick with it. For primers, I was very confused on this. I only finished 2, and I guess I just had grander goals of finishing more primers, but I do think in 2026 I will be utilizing them more because my skin is so dry, and I've been having a lot of flakiness in my skin lately, where even today I changed my foundation twice just because it wasn't settling right. And I had started with, I think a very thin one, but it's known to be finicky. And that one looked so bad, so I just wiped it off. And then I started with a very glowy and almost a skin tint formula. And I don't know what happened, so I just put a bunch of powder to blur things out. But I think that primers will be my best friend in 2026 if this flakiness keeps going on. Foundation. I didn't finish any foundations this year. If you've seen my pan 25 by 2025, I did declutter 1, and there are 2 that I'm so close to finishing, but alas, I did not finish any this year. I'm a little bummed because I really did think I could finish those 3, and I do think that if I wasn't using other foundations throughout the year, I would have finished those 2. But that just means my numbers for 2026 will be a little bit higher, and I'm okay with that. Next up, I have concealer, and I only finished 1 this year, and that's pretty standard. I think last year I also only finished 1, so that sounds like me. I don't wear a concealer every single day, but I do like to replace it as a foundation some days, and I have some goals for 2026 to maybe bump that to 2. For blush, I finished 3 products, though technically I think this should be 2, considering that 2 of those were minis. So I guess I'll rate it as 2 products, but I'm happy with that. I thought that those ones took forever to finish, so I'm proud of that. I have a lot of blush, and I have goals for next year as well. So really just keep on chugging along. I have a lot of categories where I didn't finish any. For example, I have bronzer, highlighter, and eyeliner. Did not finish a single one. And that kind of makes sense. Those are products that I'm not using all year long, if anything. Bronzer, I was so close to finishing my NYX Butter Bronzer. That's my goal for next year. I think I'm gonna finish it pretty quickly. I love that bronzer, but I really only use bronzer in the summer months and maybe the first month of fall, but not really. Highlighter, I don't think I'm ever going to finish a highlighter, and even that, I only have 3 or 4 highlighters, but yeah, I don't think I'll ever be finishing one. So that one is going to be at a 0 for a while. And then same with eyeliner, I rarely, if ever, use eyeliner. And when I do want eyeliner, I usually use eyeshadow as eyeliner. So I don't really see that happening either. For mascara, I'm pretty much on track as I was for last year. So I finished 3 this year, and 4 of those were minis. I'm able to use the minis almost as long as I would use a regular mascara before it starts getting dry. Whereas with a full size, I find that something just goes off. Like, I don't know what it is, if it gets dry or like it smells weird, but I'm very picky with mascara. If it gets to a point where I like feel my eyes are irritated, I'm not using it anymore, which is very unfortunate because with some it happens fairly quickly. I don't know, I feel like mascara is fairly cheap and I get the minis in like gifts with purchases a lot, so I'm not like, I don't really care, I guess. And then for eyeshadows, I didn't finish any, and that was not my focus, nor will it be for next year. Then I finished that one lip liner. It was a mini, so I'm counting it as 0.5 of a product. And I think last year I had only maybe finished one lip liner as well. And it was like the oldest lip liner I ever had. So I guess we're going downhill, but I'm gonna ramp it back up next year. And then for the remaining lip products, I only finished 2. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there because I had such grand goals of finishing so many products and I don't know what happened. So yeah, I finished 2. The goal is definitely to finish way more next year and I'm pretty close to a few right now. So that has me like feeling very motivated to finish more next year. And then I did not finish any setting powders, but I finished 2 setting sprays. I think last year I just had a lot that were really low anyway, but I feel on track. I only have like 2 or 3 setting sprays, so I don't feel like it's a big deal where like I feel the need to finish them. I just use them when I use them. So that wraps up my Q4 empties as well as totaling up my 2025 empties. I'm really happy with the progress I made, though there is always room for improvement. So make sure you like and subscribe so you can see my progress for 2026. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.